Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Borderlands 3 skill trees that are now online. And I've got my own opinions on it, but I kind of want to go through them and look at the characters. And we're going to start with Flak, because I think that's the character I'm going to be playing when the game comes out, who is the Beastmaster, but he's also kind of like the sniper type character, which is who I played in the last two games. Now we're going to start with the Stalker tree. Now, honestly, up front, I'm not sure how I feel about these trees. I feel like some of the actual skills that you put points into are a little bit lackluster, and I think a lot of the craziness comes from these skill augments, and with Flak, the different pet you have, and the particular action skill. But obviously, I don't know what the relics are going to be like. I don't know what the mods are going to be like if they're still in the game. I can't remember. So let's just go over it. I'm going to give my honest thoughts about it. So we'll start with this particular tree. His first skill up here is Fade Away. So this is kind of a bit like the Zero's. So yeah, he turns invisible and he can fire 3 shots while cloaked, and each shot counts as a critical. He has increased movement speed and health regen, and it gives you a hell of a hit damage, 200%. So yeah, it gives you a hell of a lot of, like, a big increase in the movement and a big increase in damage. So that's really, really cool. I kind of like this one. Zero was the character I played most of in 2, and I really like that kind of skill, so this makes it a bit different to that. Not about melee and more about shooting, so that's going to be fun. And then he's also got the pet here, which is joined by a Jabber, which I assume is a new enemy, and it's armed with a pistol. And it increases movement speed when you do it, and then you can choose which dude to attack, so that's pretty cool. So both of these sound pretty fun. These I actually kind of like. I liked that skill. I will say it's a bit similar to Zero's, which is unfortunate, but you know, I kind of expected to see some repeat with these. And the pet sounds fun. And then we've got the first 3 skills that you can get. You've got Flak's maximum health is increased, and it constantly regenerates health. But 6% is like what? So it's usually double. So 6, let's have a look. 6, and then it's 12, 15, 20. So you can get a 30% increase and 2% of your max health. So, alright, I suppose. I'm not sure. I think out of the 3 of these, I'll look at the other 2. Attack command has lowered cooldown and increased damage. So attack command is what you use for the pet. So that's going to do it by 30, I'm guessing. I'm not going to spend points on all of these. Where's the reset button? Maybe I will. We'll just see what happens. So if you purchase the points into this, you can get a 30% increase. So you can basically use your pet a lot more. And then lastly, we've got Furious Attacks, Hunter skill. After shooting an enemy, Flak gains a stack of Furious Attack. For each stack of Furious Attack, Flak's handling and gun damage are increased. Stacks decay after a few seconds. So handling is, I'm not entirely sure what handling is in this. Unless that's weapon swap speed, but unless it's like just overall recoil, aim, all that kind of stuff, and gun damage. It's like, so you get Furious Attack stats 10 and Furious Attack duration. So for each stack you get 1, so if you have 10, you have 10% more handling currently, and then gun damage, let's put the points into it. So that one actually does have a fairly big increase, because the problem with these ones is they don't seem like this. Out of all 3 of these skills, I'd probably start off putting the points into the attack command. Like, health is usually pretty good early out, but I don't know if I suppose 30% is all right. But this one here, this Furious Attack, I'd have to see that actually in action, because I can't work out right now. You can only ever have 10 stacks, so gun damage is what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 20% potentially more gun damage, which I suppose is alright, but it depends. But it only lasts for 4 seconds. So I think I would probably, I don't know, probably the being able to get my pet to attack command. That seems useful, and possibly health. Depends. Like, obviously I'll be playing this co-op, so it depends on what kind of build I'm going for. Alright, we'll come to the augments and stuff at the end. We're just going to look at the skills first. What's this one? Kill skill. Whenever Flak kills an enemy, action skill cooldown time is reduced. Whenever Flak's pet kills an enemy, action skill cooldown time is reduced even more, and attack command. So you can have that. So every current effect, whenever Flak kills an enemy, and that stacks. So you can do that as many times as you want. That's pretty good, actually. I don't know what the cooldown. What's the cooldown for this? 45 seconds. So if you can knock off 2.5 seconds, so you can knock off 5 seconds of that for every 2 enemies killed. Oh, sorry, that's your pet can do that. So every 5 enemies, every 4 enemies roughly, you're going to be able to knock 5 seconds off. So that's actually pretty good. And the fact that you can use your pet to do it, that's cool. And then this one, allies share a portion of Flak's total health regen. Flak's pet shares twice the amount of health, so allies gain 17%. Go and buy that. Allies share 50%. So that, if you're playing in a big party, that's actually not a terrible thing to go for. Being able to help someone out. And then what's this one? Flak gains increased fire rate. Okay, so this one I actually saw earlier. This one I think is rubbish. Like, I think this is a straight up just rubbish passive. So maxing it out, you only get increased fire rate after reloading temp. Oh, so hang on. So it's Flak gains increased fire rate, gains even more after reloading. So so you can get 20% increased fire rate for 4 seconds. But if you don't reload, which you obviously are, it's only 10%. I don't think this is worth the points at all. I think this is obviously, again, augmented with other skills, this could end up being really, really powerful. But if given the choice between having to reduce my cooldown times and then also give health regen to everybody, this is definitely what I would go for. Maybe if I was playing on my own I'd go for this, but I still put most of my points into this eager to impress skill. So this, out of all the skills so far, this one I don't think is worth the time. This one's great. When Flak is in fight for your life, their pet will attempt to revive them. Yeah, like, why wouldn't you get that? Seems like a no-brainer, unless obviously the pet's dead. So, but, and then we've got turn, tail, and run. While moving, Flak constantly regenerates health and gains damage reduction. While Flak is still, he gains gunfire and fire rate. Now this is pretty cool. This I like. It's not a huge amount in terms of stats, because you only get a small amount, but like you get reduced about almost 20% when you're moving. Health regen isn't huge, but combined, if you go for all the health regen stuff here, this one and this one, you're gonna have what? So that's 2% a second plus 0.9% health a second. So you can get almost 3% health regen a second. But then if you stand still, 25% damage is pretty good, and fire rate by 12% is also pretty good. So this one, these two skills combined here, I think are pretty cool. I would definitely go for these. I mean, I think you kind of have to. Well, no, you don't have to, do you? But these two I would go for. What else have we got? We've got, while above half health, Flak's gun damage and movement speed are increased. What's the max of this? 25% and movement speed 10%. That is actually pretty good, I think. You do need to dunk 3 points into that, because as 0 level it's not huge. But overall 10% is pretty good. Gun damage is definitely worth it. So there's definitely combinations in here I'm already starting to see, like the reload one there with the fire rate and then the gun damage one there. But even then I still don't know if I'd use this skill. But you can see also they have weird... there's a lot more ones with 3, there's one with 1 in there, they're all over the place. What's this one? When an enemy has no target or is attacking a different target, Flak deals increased damage. So it currently does 6, 12. So you can do an extra 30 damage. No target attacking a different target, Flak deals increased damage against them. So you only do an extra 30 damage against them. Why is it not percentage based? Again, this is something I need to see like in game, but that to me seems like a waste of time, like going for this 30 damage. Like, if it's between them looking at me and not, I don't think this is going to make a huge difference. So I wouldn't even bother putting points into that at all. That seems a complete waste of time. Kill skill. After killing an enemy, Flak and Flak's pet regenerate health for a few seconds. Yeah, like, this is the sort of thing I always get. It's not the most interesting thing, but it means once you kill someone, you've got health going up. It also depends on how good your shield is, but... So 1.6% of missing health, and then rage and recovery duration is 3 seconds. So it lasts for 3 seconds. If I put points of this, I get 8% of missing health. That seems quite powerful. In comparison, if I was going for this one and this one, I would have a big, big chunk. So potentially like 8, 10, 10.9% if I'm moving regen after I've killed someone. So yeah, that's pretty powerful. And then lastly, we've got this one here, which is Flak and Flak's pet gain increased damage when Flak activates an action skill. If Flak is at full health, the current damage is increased. So it gets 25... Is it just straight flat 25 damage? Because that's the problem. Like, 25 damage doesn't seem like a lot. So... Why... This is the biggest problem I'm having with these skill trees at the moment. When I'm looking through them, I'm just kind of like... Nothing seems overly interesting, but I mean that might be higher. That might be like as you level up, that gets higher as well. So if it's that, then yeah, sure, fair enough. And then on the left hand side here, we have the augments for your skill. So this is to do with cloak. Fade away no longer ends after flak attacks at the cost of critical health damage, and fade away during being reduced. So hang on a minute. And fade away being time. So flak no longer fade away, sorry, no longer ends after flak attacks at the cost of critical hit damage, and fade away duration being reduced. So what's the current duration of fade away? Skill duration 15, and that reduces it to 8, and then critical hit damage is down to 50% rather than 200. Ooh. I don't know. I'd have to see about that. It's interesting though. So you can keep staying invisible for a longer. Oh no, still the duration. Dropping that down from 15 seconds. Yeah, not sure about that one. Need to see it in action. After fade away ends, Flak's pet will taunt, drawing the attention of all enemies in a huge radius. For a few seconds after taunting, the pet gains damage reduction. Pet taunt 6 pet damage. That actually seems really useful. Especially if you're playing the solo, that's like the perfect skill to get out of trouble, and then you can have the pet summon dudes. As you can see, I can have 2 of these equipped skills. So, yeah, absolutely this one. The health regen and movement speed of fade away persist for a short time after the skill. After 10 seconds after, yeah, why not? That seems there's like no bad side to that one. So, these 2, pretty good. This one I need to actually use. Successive hits on the same target increase Flak's critical damage per hit. Unblinking eye resets every 3 crits. Okay, so you've got those 3 crit hits before you uncover. So if you shoot the same target 3 times, you're going to get extra damage. That seems also really powerful, depending on how strong the enemy is. I suppose on a boss or something, that would be really, really good. On the right hand side here, we've got the pet skills. Flak's Jabber evolves into a beefcake, discarding its pistol and equipping a shotgun. That's pretty cool. While accompanied by the beefcake, Flak gains increased movement speed and maximum health. Movement speed is increased by 5%, health 10. When it issues attack command, Beefcake will summon a melee weapon and deliver a powerful blow that knocks enemies back. That's really cool. Like, these just seem straight up better. So yeah, like that's an absolute must. What's this one? Flak's Jabber upgrades his gear and becomes an SMG, accompanied by the Gunslinger. Oops. Flak gains increased move speed and critical hit damage. So that one gives you, what? Move speed, max health, and that's move speed, critical hit. It gets a rocket launcher when you target someone. So this is where it seems like a lot more of the interesting stuff is in these skill, action skill augments and this equipable pet. These all sound great. Like this one I'm not sure about, is the Gorillas in the Mist, but these other ones, plus these pets, sound awesome. So this tree actually might be the one I end up going down, I'm not sure, but I love the skill, the cloak one. Moving on then, we got a Hunter one. Let's reset me points. So this is the one that uses the rack. This is a really cool ability actually. Sends forward 2 rack to dive bomb enemies. Skill has multiple charges. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage though. So again, I'm guessing. Alright, I'm going to assume that anything that says damage 35 or like that must scale with your level. So maybe that one where it was like bottom one was like very little damage. That must scale with your level. So you do an extra like probably like 1,000 damage stuff later on. So I take it back. If that is the case, that's really good. But if it isn't, then like oh dear. Yeah, you get to summon the rack and it has multiple charges. Kind of like Bloodwing, I imagine, but just dive bombs and takes them out. And this one gives you the Spider Ant, which will cause Flak to constantly regen health. So this is good if you're playing single player. Issue attack, Spider, and charge into enemy. Alright, what skills have we got in this? And this is also the Hunter tree. So we've got passive ability, Hunter skill kill. Whenever Flak kills an enemy, they gain a stack of Interplanetary Stalker. For each stack of that, they gain a bonus to all damage dealt. Additionally, they gain a unique stacking bonus depending on the type of enemy killed. Each unique bonus can stack up to 3 times. Each stack decays after a short time. So it's 2% stack, 3% action skill damage per stack, robot bonus, corrosive damage, and beast bonus. This seems pretty good. I was wondering if we upgrade that. So you're getting extra percent. Again, I don't know if this is affected by level, but 10% movement speed against beasts. And then, okay, so this seems like a useful thing to have, because when fighting these kind of, like against humans, like 15% extra skill damage, that seems useful. This seems good, like having these stacks. How long does a stack last, though? Each stack decays after a short time, so probably like 3 seconds. This could potentially be really powerful. I'll have to see that in action to know, but I think this skill's pretty cool. When flak scores a critical hit, there is a chance for 1 ammo to be added to their magazine. Is it just 1? 36% chance for 1? Again, like, does this change when you level up? That's the biggest problem I have now. Let's just assume that it does. For most... let's assume when it's damage it does. Everything else it isn't. So 1 ammo. 36... this is for snipers. I'm guessing. This would work well as a sniper, but... not sure how I feel about that skill. Out of these two, this one definitely, this one not so much. Hunter skill kill. Whenever flak kills an enemy, they gain increased reload speed. This bonus is increased if flak scores a critical hit. So 3%, 6%, critical hit 5 seconds. So let's upgrade this. And it becomes reload speed 13, critical hit 23, and it still lasts 5 seconds. Reload speed seems to be one of those things that's actually really good to have. Unless you've got really good weapon swap speed. But from playing Borderlands 2 recently, God, some of the weapons take so long to reload. So I think this is probably quite good. I would probably go for both these kill skills off the bat. This one giving extra damage, movement speed, corrosive damage, and this one giving reload speed. So that's whenever you kill, and that's also whenever you kill, isn't it? So yeah, combine the two. This one in the middle I'm not sure about. I really don't think that's particularly great, but again, won't know until playing it. If you can augment it so it's like more than 1 ammo, then yeah, it'd be great. Okay, flak gains bonus when fighting different types of enemies. 3% versus humans, 6% versus robots, and 5.3 versus beasts, which becomes 15%. 30% versus robots. So he's really good at armor. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, so armor damage versus robots, critical hit damage versus humans, and damage reduction versus beasts. Oh, I see. So yeah, so he can crit humans easier, he can reduce armor of robots, and he takes less damage. That seems pretty good, actually. Any kind of reduction to damage and stuff seems fairly decent. Okay, what's this one? Head count. Whenever flak scores a critical hit, there is a chance their action skill cooldown is reduced. So 10% cooldown time increase. So this is going to be plus 30% overall. And it reduces it by 2 seconds. So you have a 30% chance to reduce your cooldown. So assuming you haven't gone down the other tree, this is the only way currently you would have to reduce it. So I suppose it's probably worth it. What's the time on that? 18 seconds. Yeah, okay. Possibly. What's this one? While there are no enemies nearby, flak's weapon handling and critical hit damage are increased. So this has definitely got to be snipers and scopes. Weapon handling, I'm still not 100% sure what that is. If it's like reload and all that stuff. But critical hit damage seems pretty good. So you can have an extra 20% and 50% on the weapon handling. So if weapon handling is weapon swap speed and all this good stuff, that's pretty powerful. And also if you're playing a sniper and there aren't any enemies nearby, when you are sniping, 20% is good. So I think these two gains bonus when fighting different types. Pistol maxed out. This one is ambush predator, good. This one, not sure. Not sure about this because it's only 2 seconds. I think I'd rather put it into this one, extra damage from sniping, and this one taking reduction or increased damage to different things. What's up next? Toothang. Flak has a chance to fire an extra projectile per shot. 5% going up to 25%. I wish this was a little bit higher. I know it's not really based around it, but like 25% overall, because you've got to spend 5 points to get that, it doesn't seem like a lot. So it's for every, you get what? For every level it's 5%. So it goes from 5 to 10, 20, 25. It's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's useful, but it depends how much it triggers. I suppose when you're using a fast machine gun or something, it'd be pretty good. 25% though, on a sniper or something, that might not be useful. But again, I don't 100% know, but I'm not sure I would be putting points into this. I'd probably put points into this over there, so like 3 into there and 2 into there maybe, but 25% chance, not sure. Not sure on that one. It's nice, but it's still only 25%. I think 30% would have been better. I know it's only 5.5% more, but I think 30 or 35 would have been better, but you know. Big game. Flak Hunter's skills become much more effective and have a longer duration. And that gives up to 30% effect and 100% more duration. That seems really powerful if you've got these Hunter's kill skills. So that no longer lasts 5 seconds, that would last 10 seconds, is that right? And that would last longer. Yeah, I feel like that seems like for the extra 30% increase. 30% is just a nice number all around. I think that's definitely worth it. What's this one? Hunter's skill kill. Whenever flak kills a badass or stronger enemy, they gain increased critical hit, gun damage, and handling. and receive a cash reward from the Intergalactic Bureau of Bounty. So you get 120 seconds when it lasts, apparently. 8% gun, 34% handling. Let's have a look, see, let's purchase that. So you get gun damage 25, critical hit 10%, handling 33. I think all these skill kills in conjunction with this sound like a good idea. It seems like if you were going to play this, you'd do that, and that's like handling, gun damage, and critical hit. And this is all based around critical hits, isn't it? So that was critical hit, that's critical hit damage. So I suppose you are getting this critical hit as well. Very far away. So in a lot of ways, you are getting a big ton of like increases and buffs, but like some of these skills on their own just don't seem very good. They have to be in conjunction with some of these other ones, which is kind of the problem. Flak deals increased critical hit damage, and enemies are less likely to attack them. So that's only 15%. Again, if that goes up with level, that's awesome. But 15% is... I don't know if I'd want to spend a point in that. What's the other skill here? Flak gains increased gun damage and action skill damage. So that's 15% and 25% action skill damage, which is the rack. Versus just 15% crit. I don't know if this is worth it. If you're playing just a sniper, I suppose it is, because you're going to be doing insane amounts, but... don't know about that one. That's maybe in conjunction with everything else. If you're going for just critical hit damage, then that's going to be insane. You'll be able to do... If you get all the right skills, so that's critical hit. Where's the other one? That's critical hit versus humans. That's critical hit damage if you're far away. That's critical hit damage as well. You can potentially do a good like 50-60% more damage, I suppose, but not sure. What's this last one? Flak gains a chance to score a critical hit when weapons against against any part of the enemies. This is just funny because this can be probably lead to some silly moments. I definitely think this could be a little bit better. Again, 30 would be the magic number, but again, if the game's not balanced around that, it'd be a bit broken. But I like it. It's all right. The problem is with these skills, they don't seem... The ones in Borderlands 2, a lot of the bottom of the tree ones seem way more interesting, but I think that's kind of the point of these extra bits. So let's have a look at the rack. Converts rack to cryo damage. So you can freeze enemies, that's pretty cool. Don't really see a downside to that. What do they do normally? No, they don't do anything, okay. When Flak's rack damage an enemy, a portion of the health is restored. That's pretty good, you want to gain health back. Flak sends 2 additional rack, yeah, absolutely. There's like a no-brainer to me, just take the extra 2 rack. Flak's rack have increased the cooldown rate and gain an additional charge. So you can use it more times and you get to use it quicker. Yeah, these are all really good. It's going to be tough to pick between 2 of them. Spider Ant evolves into Scorcher, occasionally dealing incendiary damage to all enemies nearby while accompanied by Scorcher. Flak constantly regens health and gains elemental resistance. That's useful. Elemental resistance is always good. Health regen is +1 per second. Scorcher will charge enemies, and then evolves into the Countess, which will cause Flak to constantly regen health and damage reduction, which is also really good. Should attack command, the Countess will burrow underground and then emerge, dealing corrosive damage. So both of these seem really, really powerful as well. I like the Spider Ant thing. That might be the one I go for. This is all around sniping. This entire tree is all around sniping, which is cool. But I need to see what these skills are like combined. Like this critical hit thing, this one here just doesn't seem worth it. But again, if you combine it with some of the other skills, maybe it is. But alright, let's have a look at this last tree, which is called Master. And he's got Gamma Burst. So I don't quite understand what this does, but Flak creates a rift at a target location, teleporting their pet through the rift and dealing radiation damage, which is basically what Slag was in the last game. Additionally, Flak's pet becomes irradiated, growing in size and dealing bonus radiation damage when it attacks. That seems really good. Using Gamma Burst while Flak's pet is downed or dead will revive the pet at the target location with 30% of his health, but will double the action skill timer. So that's got 56 damage, so that's definitely got to be going up with level. That has to be going up with level. Actually, if I equip this and then spend the points, this is 56. That's still 56, okay. And then Flak joined by a Skag. Increases Flak's damage. Again, yeah, it must be level then. Cause the Skag to vomit acid onto enemies. That sounds pretty funny. Alright, let's So 10%. Okay, so it starts off in 10%. What's this one? Flak's pet deals increased damage 10%, all the way up to 50. If you're going to use your pet, seems perfectly good. Increases Flak's gun damage and action skill duration. So that's 12% gun damage. Oh, just 45% increase in skill duration seems really good. Both for the rack one. I mean, I assume these work on all the trees like the old game. So yeah, both these skills so far pretty good. When Flak's pet attacks an enemy, the first melee attack is automatic critical. Deals increased damage. So, ooh, 75% crit. Crikey! If you go heavy in your pets, you could do some serious damage there. Where every time the first attack is a crit. This is already these skills seem way better than the other trees. This is all specialized around your pet, though, I believe. So, what have we got next? Who rescued who? Whenever Flak's pet deals damage, Flak regenerates health for a few seconds. Whenever Flak deals damage to an enemy, their pet's health is restored for a portion of the. So it converts 1% of damage dealt into pet health regen, max health. All right. So you can the health regen 2%. That's pretty good. He's got a lot of health regen. This guy. That seems pretty decent to me. I'd definitely go with that. Flak's pet takes damage. The pet returns some of that damage to the attacker. So this is damage reflex on the pet. This seems better. But what's the last skill? Hunter skill. When Flak's pet deals damage, Flak and their pet gain a stack of frenzy. Each stack of frenzy increases damage. The stacks decay after a few times. So you can end up doing 10. Okay, so you can end up doing quite a lot of damage. So that seems pretty good. I think this one and this one. Less so this one. It's alright, but you get health regen and you get extra damage. That's when Flak's pet deals damage. Flak and their pet then gains a stack of frenzy. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. What's next? Hunter skill kill. Whenever Flak kills an enemy, their pet gains increased movement speed and damage. It's just a 1-pointer. It's alright, I suppose. I mean, movement speed's always good. Pet damage 10%. I suppose in conjunction with everything else, that's actually pretty powerful, but it depends on what you go for here as to how good this one is. When Flak takes damage, a portion of all damage they take is shared to their pet instead. That's useful. Apart from you could end up popping off your pet, but 15%? I don't know. Maybe if that was a bit higher. Not sure. This one in conjunction, definitely. This one I'm not sure about. Increases the power of pet bonuses granted to Flak. Oh, so every bonus that the pet gives you, you get 100% increase. That seems really powerful. If it's like health regen and whatever else the pet does, that one's movement and stuff. But yeah, that seems good. If you're definitely going for specifically for those. When Flak's pet is lower health, it gains damage reduction and regens health. It's long school cooldown. 30% reduction, 40% of max health. Crikey. That seems powerful. I mean, obviously got a cooldown of 15 seconds, so you better not hope they get murdered on it, but that seems good. All damage dealt by Flak and their pet is increased. Additionally, the maximum health of both Flak and their pet is increased. So all damage dealt by Flak and their pet is increased. Okay. So I see, this is the thing I'm seeing with this trees now, where everything's a lot more like combined to work together. So that last one is like all about crits. This one's all about your pet skills, and that's how you gain everything. So it's kind of cool. Like single player wise, this probably worked really, really well. It seems, again, you can get it with some of these others that work pretty well. What's this one? While Flak is low on health, a portion of the damage they take is shared to their pet instead. So probably under 50, and in conjunction with this one with damage shared, so you can do what, 60%, 65% damage potentially goes to the pet. And then not master, whatever this skill is called, dominance. Melee override. Flak establishes dominance over an enemy, turning it into an ally for a short time. If the enemy is a beast, the duration is doubled. Under the effects of dominance, the target constantly loses health until it dies or the effect ends. Only one enemy can be dominated at any time. An enemy can only be dominated once. Seems useful. Seems like a cool skill. That sounds way more interesting than the other two, if the other two don't level up, or you haven't gone for the right build. So, all in all, I like the idea of just using the pet and going nuts with it, especially as a skag. What we got here? While Gamma Burst is active, Flak's pet is surrounded by radiation aura constantly dealing damage. That 4 damage a second, so again, that has to level up. Seems good. because it's damage over time. What's not to like? For the duration of Gamma Burst, damage dealt by Flak is increased. Yeah, again, must level up because it's only 20. Again, pretty good though. When Flak or Flak's pet kills an enemy while Gamma Burst is active, the duration of Gamma Burst is extended and the pet damage is increased. Stack up to 5 times. Oh, that's pretty fun. Just keep killing loads of things. Lots of damage. After using Gamma Burst, the Rift remains for the duration of the skill. While standing near the Rift, Flak and allies... Oh, you gain health regen. Yeah, okay. Useful. And then we got the to Greater Horn Skag, which is increases that. Increases Flak's damage and gun damage. While Flak issues an attack command, the Great Horn Skag will charge at enemies and knock them into the air. I like that. Seems pretty powerful. We can run, knock people up. Definitely cool. And Iridian Skag, which will increase Flak's damage and fire rate, which is also good. When Flak issues an attack command, the Iridian Skag pulls nearby enemies. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. This tree seems like the most interesting one to me, especially because it's all pet orientated. I like it. I like this. Shows you the points spent on it. So that's Flak. That's who I'm going to be playing as. I'm just not sure which tree I'm going to go down yet. Possibly this pet one, because that kind of sounds fun. Maybe that or the sniper one. But I think what I'm starting to see here is that it's very themed. So if you go for the right skills, you're going to have like huge crit bonuses, huge pet bonuses. But if you don't, and you're kind of going willy-nilly with the skills that you like and not really thinking ahead, you're going to get very minor bonuses, and that's the only downside to these skill trees. But a lot of the interesting stuff comes with the augments and in this case pet. So yeah, it looks alright. I think a lot of this is going to depend on what actually levels up as you level up and the damage increase and things like that, so I have to see. Let's go on to Mose. Probably the character, like, now I've read her stuff, she's pretty cool. She's different. She also has 2 guns when she summons her robot, because with Flak you can have a pet and your skill. With Mose you only have your robot, but you can change the guns on it. So what's the first skill we got here? Railgun. So what's this tree? Shield Retribution. So it sounds like it's going to be like electric. Railgun fires high velocity projectile shock damage. Cool. Right, whenever Mose reloads, she loses a small portion of health and grants additional incendiary damage to her and her allies for a few rounds. If you're going a tank, this is probably going to be a really good thing to do. The current health removed 1%. So you lose 5% of health, which actually isn't a lot. And bonus damage is 15%. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Bubble Shield. Iron Bear gains Bubble Shield that reduces damage taken. Oh, so this is like Axton's turret having a shield on it, basically, in the last game. It's pretty good. There's no downside to having that. While Moses' shields are active, she gains damage reduction, and increased gun damage. So how much are we getting? 15 and 13%. I mean, seems like the tank mode. So potentially early on, I don't know if I like that very much. It doesn't seem particularly great, but kill skill. Killing an enemy grants Moses a stack of drowning and brass. Yeah. For each stack of drowning and brass, Moses' fire rate is reduced, but gun damage is increased. So you fire slower, but you do more damage. Oh wow, you can end up hitting very hard. 20% per stack. So you can have 3 stacks, 20, 40, 60%, and then 2, 4, 6, but 8% less fire rate. That's quite good. And it goes to your allies as well. Nice. Yeah, definitely do that. Portion of Moses' health is reserved and they cannot be restored, but a maximum shield is increased by the same amount. So you lose 60% of your health. So wow, this really is all about shields. 60% of your health and you gain 60% added to shields. Christ. Whew. Moses' maximum shield is increased and she gains resistance to shock. This seems really good because of how good shock damage can be. I would absolutely like be all about that. Maybe over this one, but yeah, definitely that one. Entering Iron Bear causes Mose and her allies' shields to immediately begin recharging at an increased shield recharge rate. Entering Iron Bear. So 25%. That's actually pretty good. I'll definitely get that. Whenever Mose scores a critical hit, she deals extra incendiary damage. If it's, I suppose if you get a bunch, if you fire a machine gun into a critical hit, that's 10% damage dealt. Could be good. Not sure. Potential. Depends on the type of gun, I think. Shield recharge delay is reduced and her shield recharge rate is increased. Yeah, this is a must. It's not a huge amount of percent, but recharge rate, yes. Delay, if badass ranks are back as well, then definitely. Moses' gun damage is increased depending on how low her health is. The lower her health, the greater the increase. So if you potentially up to 50% depending on how low your health is. That's insane. I suppose if you're in fight for your life, it might be really powerful. Kill skill. After killing an enemy, Mose gains a stack of Phalanx Doctrine. For every stack of Phalanx Doctrine, Moses' maximum shield and gun damage are increased. Each stack lasts 30 seconds. Max shields for gun damage. So what's 15%? Killing it gains a stack. There is no stack limit. Ooh, yes. So for every time you kill someone, you get max shields is increased. And your gun damage increases. So in a firefight, and it lasts 30 seconds. Oh my god, that seems really good. Whenever Mose scores a critical hit, her shields immediately begin recharging. That's just scores a critical hit. You don't even have to kill someone with it. That's a no-brainer. That's really good. Tenacious defense. Whenever Moses' shield is fully depleted, she instantly restores a portion of her shield, and gun damage is increased for a short time. This skill can only trigger after Moses' shields are fully recharged. 40% of max shield. 30%. Alright, that's actually really powerful. Yeah, so far this entire tree seems really good. You just play a full-on tank. It's awesome. Alright, Hell on Rails. Railgun now fires superheated rounds that deal incendiary damage, but have increased... Alright, so you have fuel drain on it, but you do extra fire damage. Great versus humans. If you want to use a railgun that's really good, and you want to set people on fire, definitely. Railgun hits an enemy at chains to nearby enemy, dealing shock, so that's doing less to each one. So that's shock damage, pretty good shields. So far, I like the fact that you've got two different elemental choices. Railgun now fires a special round that deals reduced damage and explodes after a short delay. Shots have reduced fuel drain and magazine size is increased. So railgun damage reduced, fuel drain reduced. Magazine size +2 converts to corrosive damage. Yes, depends how good the railgun is, but these other two definitely. What's this? Oh, the Bare Fist. Yeah, it's a pneumatic driven fist that deals massive damage to a single target, so you can run up and punch people. What's not to like? Bare Fist hits an enemy, it deals random bonus elemental damage to 30% dealt. That sounds fun. That sounds like a really good skill. There's no downside to that. Instead of punching, Bare Fist now launches its fist towards an enemy, grabs it, and pulls them in, dealing shock damage and pulling it. Yeah. That sounds awesome. Definitely do that. Bare Fist is now capable of sustained rapid fire. Ooh. Additionally, Bare Fist has reduced fuel drain, deals bonus shock. So yeah, if you don't want to go for the long one, you'd probably go for this one. Bonus random elemental. Oh, you can't have both. Oh, you could have both. Can you? Can you have both? Does that let me have both? No. Okay, so you have to only have one of these. Ooh. Okay, then definitely like this one here. I like this. The fact that it's capable of sustained rapid fire punching. Right up and just punch people. Oh, I didn't get that. There we go. Good tree, actually, all in all. I like this tree. Very, very tanky. Probably good to play single player as well. Right, next up. Bottomless mag. So this is all going to be about fire rate. We've got a minigun on the top there as well. Minigun, sustained rapid fire for long periods causes the minigun to overheat, rendering it impenetrable. Inoperable, sorry. But yeah, that sounds fun. Passive. Occasionally Moses and Iron Bear shots will deal additional incendiary damage and won't consume ammo. That sounds really good, depending on what you get out of it. Every 4 shots does not consume ammo. That's pretty good on its own. 11% incendiary. If you got the right gun, that would actually be really cool, but just for the every 4 shots not to consume ammo, especially with a machine gun or a submachine gun. Rapid fire, definitely. Adds a man turret to the back of Iron Bear, yes, if you're playing multiplayer. Why wouldn't you do this? Moses' currently equipped weapon gains a stacking bonus to magazine size and decreased heat per shot for every piece of equipped gear that is a matching manufacturer. Okay, so if you've got matching stuff, you get reduced heat and ooh. Yeah. I think this is one of those ones I kind of have to use and see in action to actually kind of realise how good this is. To increased heat per shot for every piece of equipped gear that's matching. Interesting. Have to see that one. Increases Mose and Iron Bear's incendiary damage 10%. So this goes up to 30. So 30%, and with this one, with an extra percent, so that could potentially be 40%. So yeah, it is 41% actually, isn't it? So these two combined, pretty good. After Mo scores a critical hit, she regenerates ammo for a few seconds. Yes? Probably? Not entirely sure how good it is. Scrappy. While moving, Moses' handling, weapon swap, and mode switch speed are increased. So as long as you're moving, you get increased weapon swap. I can't speak. Weapon swap speed, mode switch speed, handling. Wow, that is huge buff. So while you're moving, you get all of that. Damn, that's like 50%. I don't see a downside to that one at all. As long as you just keep waddling around. Most can sprint and shoot at the same time. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you do that? Mose gains increased fire rate and critical hit damage. Fire rate and critical hit. 15%, critical hit 20%. Yes, probably, considering this whole thing is about shooting guns that don't ever run out of ammo. That's probably quite good. These trees definitely seem like more easy to understand when it comes to combining skills compared to flax, but I think again I have to see it in action. But none of them seem overly crazy yet. That's the thing. There's no like crazy skill. Increases Moses' magazine size. You get 5 into that, so you get plus 35 to each magazine. That, with a very big clip anyway, is going to be insane. Otherwise, it's going to be rubbish. Like machine gun, submachine gun, you're going to go down that road. You're going to get a hell of work out of that. But other than that, don't bother. Equipping 2 of the same weapons on Iron Bear increases the damage they deal. Yeah, if you've got 2 of the same, do that. That sounds awesome. And just extra damage, flat, 25% better. I still wish that was a bigger bonus though. I feel like it should be like 40%, 50% better. We make it insane, but you never know. Mose gains infinite ammo for a few seconds after exiting Bear. So for 5 seconds, you just get to launch your bullets. That seems like a no-brainer, especially if you can augment that to make that higher as well. That'd be awesome. Mose gains increased gun damage as her magazine empties. The less ammo there is remaining, the greater the increase. If Mose has Cov gun equipped, she gains gun damage. Oh right, so yeah, less ammo. Yeah, so that means the last few shots in your gun are going to be pretty good. Yeah, that could be decent. And then what's this? Mose constantly regenerates ammo for her. Yeah. Why would that's so useful? Like being able to regen ammo is like one of the most powerful things in these games. Because it's one of the hardest things to come by. Like I've seen it, but it's not common. I actually kind of like this tree. It's just all about constantly firing, which is good. So we've got this. Minigun deals more damage as heat increases and can fire and can be fired for longer before overheating, up to 80%. Yeah, seems good. Definitely. Fires cryo rounds which reduce heat gain and fuel drain, reduce damage. So it does less damage overall. 30%. That's quite a hit. But you can freeze and you can use it for way longer. Minigun fires explosive rounds that deal increased splash, but its fire rate is decreased. Wow, 75%. But minigun damage is up. Wow, that is a huge trade-off. I have to see that in action. And you got a flamethrower on this one, so the salamander has infinite ammo but drains fuel. Reduces salamander's fuel drain. Additionally, Iron Bear's movement speed is increased after damaging enemies. So you hit someone with a salamander and you can just run faster, get nice and close to them. Salamander now deals corrosive damage. Additionally, Salamander's melt damage is increased, which is a huge amount. And then Salamander fires 3 projectiles with increased fuel drain, the first of which leaves a large incendiary area. So that's cool. It turns it into a projectile and has a big blast radius. Overall, I actually like this tree. This tree the most so far out of the 2. I think it's a lot of fun. The other one's very tanky. This one is about just not firing. So pretty good overall. And let's have a look at the other 2. Other one here. Alright. So, grenade launcher. Semi-automatic grenade launcher. Its grenades are not affected by Moses' equipped grenade mod. Cool. Can't go wrong with grenade launcher. This is demolition, so it's going to be explosives. Whenever Mose deals splash damage, she deals bonus incendiary damage, which turns into 15%. Okay. Not great. But, you know, alright. Firing Iron Bear's weapons drains less fuel. Killing an enemy while Iron Bear is active increases fuel. Yeah. If you're going to be an Iron Bear a lot, if anything that's going to reduce the fuel consumption of your weapons, I think that seems pretty powerful, actually. Especially if you're using a grenade launcher. You want to be able to use that as much as possible. Kill skill. Killing an enemy reduces Moses' remaining action skill cooldown time. This skill has diminishing returns. So, killing an enemy. Iron Bear cooldown 5. How long does it take to get Iron Bear out? I don't think it says, does it? Well, whatever the length is, it's probably going to be quite a long time between getting it in and out of the thing. So yes, definitely get that. Whenever Mose deals splash damage, there is a chance to add ammo to a currently equipped weapons magazine with a smaller chance to return a grenade. Yeah, 10%. Not sure. 10% is not a lot, so it depends what else you get with this. All splash damage dealt by Mose has a chance to double in size. 15% doesn't seem like a lot either, but I suppose if you're using a grenade launcher on the Iron Bear, then that's probably not a bad thing. Iron Bear gains additional armor and increased maximum fuel. Just for the fuel consumption alone, it's probably pretty good, but Iron Bear armor, yeah, seems decent. More so than this one, I think. This one as well, depending on what you can do with that. Moses' grenades has a chance to score a critical hit. That's powerful. Dealing greatly increased damage. Sources of critical hit damage do not affect grenade critical hits. So yeah, that's actually pretty fun. You've got 30% chance to crit someone with a grenade. If that applies to the grenade launcher, that's really powerful. After Mose exits Iron Bear, it will remain deployed in place for a short time. While Auto Bear remains active, it will target and attack nearby enemies until its duration ends. Then it will charge us. Yeah. That's one of the best skills that I've seen for her, like the fact that you can get out, it will become a turret, and then it will run up towards and blow someone up. This is what I mean by really interesting skills. Like, that's really cool. That's like one of the best skills I've seen in her tree. Alright. Whenever Mose damages an enemy with a thrown grenade, for every enemy hit, she restores a portion of missing health. Awesome. Again, if that applies to the grenades coming from her gun, grenade launcher, that's pretty powerful. Increases Mose grenades carrying capacity. It's a +3 grenades. That it's alright. It's not like +5 or something. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Not compared. This is much better than this. Mose gains the ability to throw grenades while in fight for your life. That's always good. If she threw a grenade before gaining second wind, a grenade is refunded. Yeah, that seems powerful. Being able to do anything else in fight for your life is always good. Mose deals splash damage and her action skill cooldown rate is briefly increased. Oh, when she deals splash damage. 25% school cooldown rate. That sounds powerful. That's a must. And then, whenever Mose deals gun damage, there is a chance of secondary explosion centered on the target. 20%, 70% of gun damage. Ooh, sounds powerful. You can do a lot of damage with that. Secondary explosion. I'll have to see that in action to see what I like. That sounds kind of bonkers. Sounds fun though. We've got there. Got action skill augment. Direct hits with the grenade launcher increased damage. Oh, yep. Nothing wrong with that. Occasionally, the V35 fires a singularity grenade that pulls enemies in before exploding. Every 7th grenade. That sounds fun. That sounds like it'd be a laugh. You can definitely do a lot of damage with that. Reload speed is greatly increased, and it now fires a 5-round burst. Wow, nice. What's this? Oh, rocket pod. Launcher is capable of rapid firing volleys of unguided explosive rockets. Yeah. What's not to like? Just bang, bang, bang. Rocket pod now fires homing rockets and has increased reload speed. Hold down F and aim at enemies to designate up to 6 targets. Releasing fire button launches a volley of homing rockets at the designated target. Yeah. I don't see a problem with that. The Vanquisher rocket pod deals greatly reduced damage per rocket, but fires in a 6 rocket spread. Additionally, enemies hit by the rocket pods take increased damage. Yes? Not sure on that one. It's alright, and that one blows up like a nuke. Launches a single rocket with nuclear warhead, dealing massive damage. Yep. What's not to like? Overall, I actually kind of like Mose. I think Mose, even though I don't want to play her, actually has pretty good skill trees that all very much seem fairly straightforward and work together quite well. The one with the minigun seems like the one I would go for if I was going for any, so pretty fun. Let's move on to Zane. Hugh is the operative. He seems pretty fun. What do we start with? Zane? The Digiclone. So this is like Jack from pre-sequel. It sends out a clone that distracts enemies and fires at enemies, and you can swap places with them. So that's pretty cool. And he's got whenever one or more of Zane's action skills are active, he gains increased gun damage for each skill. 20%. So yeah, he can have 2 action skills. Kind of like how Flak has the pet and the skill. Zane just can have 2 of them out. So it's definitely worth. If you're getting increased gun damage, if you've got the clone and like the shield or something, that seems definitely worth it. Zane and his Digiclone gain increased magazine size. 25%. Plus 25. Yeah, that could be pretty good. I suppose you're going to be using machine guns and things. Zane gains increased action skill duration for every action skill. So if you've got 2 out, he's got 15% per active action skill. That seems pretty good. Interesting anyway. I would probably say these 2, maybe. But I mean, duration's always good, I suppose. So maybe that one, but I think I would go for this. And this one. Kill skill. Whenever Zane kills an enemy, he and his Digiclone receive increased gun damage and health regen for a few seconds. So you can have that go up to 15% and health 2.5% and missing health. Probably good. Probably. Not sure about that one. I think so. Digiclone throws a copy of Zane's current grenade mod when it is first activated. If the Digiclone is killed, it drops a free grenade. Seems good. Kill skill. Killing an enemy while the Digiclone is active gives the clone a chance to throw a grenade. So, okay, so you get to basically have him throw a grenade when he spawns, and then killing an enemy might give him a chance to throw another grenade. Seems good enough to me. Alright. First shot fired from Zane's gun has a chance to also fire a grenade. That just seems really funny. Now, if that doesn't count as ammo, that's really cool. But it probably does, but yeah, I would definitely go for that. Whenever Zane swaps places with his clone, his shields immediately begin recharging. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Definitely do that. Kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane gains grenade regen for a few seconds. If you're going down grenades and you're going to be using it, 20% regen. Seems decent. That's 3 grenades. Nothing not to like there. Press F or G during Fight for Your Life if Digiclone is active to destroy the clone and immediately gain a second win with full health. Wow, that is powerful. Yeah, that's like a no-brainer. Whenever one or more Zane's action skills are active, he gains increased movement speed for each active one. It's only 12%. It's not a massive amount. I think that was more like 20. That'd be cool, but it's not huge. Zane and Digiclone gain a chance to ignore bullets. This chance is increased for a few seconds after activating an action skill that affects stacks. Ignore bullet chance. Additional ignore bullet chance. Yes? Don't know, that's not a huge amount, but it depends how often that can trigger. Whenever Zane summons his Digiclone, it consumes up to 3 grenades for every grenade consumed. The Digiclone gains increased gun damage, max health, fire rate, reload speed, Digiclone duration. That's huge. That is probably worth it. Oh, because if you're probably not using grenades anyway. If you've got that equipped, because it. Oh, that's the whole thing with the grenades, isn't it? Yeah. So because you've got 2 things equipped, 2 action skills, you're probably not using grenades. So if the more grenades you've got, and the fact you can regen them, will let you trigger. So everything's based off triggering from grenades in this. That's kind of cool. Interesting. Zane deals bonus shock damage to enemies that aren't targeting him. If it's just 3 damage, then sure, but 18% isn't a lot. I'm not. I feel like that should be higher. But yeah. The clone is equipped with a copy of Zane's current weapon when activated. Swapping places with the clone causes Zane and his clone to gain increased gun damage. Item dropping. Oh, item duping. 20% gun damage. Yeah. Yeah, can't really. That just seems good. Because it means that you and your clone are going to be doing serious amounts of damage if your gun's good. What have we got for skills? Whenever Zane swaps places with his clone, the Cryo Nova is triggered and it's around Zane and his clone. Yes, if it freezes people, that's definitely worth it. Whenever this clone takes damage, Zane's shield is restored by a portion of that damage. That seems really good. Holding down F or G to end the action skill early. When Zane's action skill is ended, the clone explodes, dealing splash damage to all nearby enemies. The action skill time remaining is greater than damage. Yeah, that seems funny. That's pretty cool. You can send it out and blow it up and kill people. That's a Definitely that one. They all seem pretty good so far. Enemies are more likely to target the clone for a few seconds after it's summoned and after swapping places. Yeah, if you're playing single player. Again, really good one for that. If Zane takes health damage while the clone is active, a portion of that damage is shared to his clone instead. Yeah. This whole tree. The tree itself is okay. It's not amazing, but the skills you can do with the clone and the things you can do with the clone are actually pretty fun. But other than that, it's alright. Next up, we've got the Sentinel. So yeah, send a automated Sentinel drone that continuously flies through the environment and attacks enemies with a machine gun. You press F or G while the Sentinel is active, and it attacks the enemies under Zane's crosshairs. And that lasts for 60 seconds. That's pretty good. That definitely has to go up with level damage as well. Only 4 damage. Cooldown is 60 seconds. 24 seconds is what it lasts. Alright. Violent speed. Kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane gains increased movement speed for a few seconds. How much does this go up to? See, that's way better. 20%. So when you kill some dude, 20% movement speed. That's way better than like 10%, 12%, whatever the other one was. Combination of the two things, you can go pretty quick. Zane gains increased weapon swap speed. The next shot fired after swapping weapons deals bonus cryo. What's the weapon swap speed max out? 43%. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Zane's gun damage is increased while moving. The quicker he moves, the greater the gun damage. Ah, okay. So if you've got this, and then you've got this, so 20% of default walk speed. So if you've got the increase of 20% when you killed someone, you get extra damage while moving. Though I wouldn't even bother with this one. I'll just go this and this. Max them out, they work nicely together. Zane gains increased reload speed after kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane's reload speed is increased for a few seconds. So this is just reload all out. 13%, 17% after a kill. Yes, I think it's alright. It's not amazing, is it? Probably okay. But reload speed anyway is always good. Sentinel will occasionally drop a free grenade based on Zane's current grenade mod while attacking enemies. Oh, nice. Boom. Now, is that a grenade that blows up or a grenade that you get? I wonder. If it's just a grenade that drops on the enemies, that's pretty cool. Kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane's weapon gain a lifesteal for a few seconds. Ah. So you've got to kill an enemy and you've got 10% damage dealt will heal you. Pretty good. I love health regen moves, so that's something I would probably go for. All of Zane's kill skills gain increased effect and duration, plus 7% second time. So, oh, okay. So if you got what we got, kill skill. These are all kill skills? So there's 1, 2, 3 there, plus that. So if you're going for the kill skills, you can do some crazy stuff. That's 25% and 7% duration. That's huge, man. That's big. So that's definitely worth it. Kill skill, and there's another one here. After killing an enemy, Zane gains increased fire rate. So this whole tree is about him. You kill a dude, and then suddenly everything triggers, and you're doing way more damage, way more movement, everything. So what was this one? Kill skill after killing an enemy, Zane increased fire rate. So 20% plus 8, so another second of that. Whew, yeah. That's in combination with that skill there. Death follows close. That's good. Another kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane's next 5 shots all have a chance to fire an additional projectile. 50. Oh wow, yes. And 25% on top of that. 75% chance to fire an extra shot. These two, absolutely. That's really cool. Definitely. Kill skill. Killing an enemy. Wow, he's just. Nice. Kill skill. Killing an enemy increases Zane's action skill duration. This skill has diminishing returns. So, increases duration 12%. Yes. I mean, if you're going just for skill kills, then this seems awesome. Activating your action skill automatically activates all kill skills. So you can just trigger all your kill skills instantly and get a huge amount of bonuses. That's kind of interesting. I kind of like what they've done with the tree here. So what works with your ship? Set the primer up to cryo. Converts to cryo. Drone damage is less, but it does freeze people potentially. Occasionally shoots out a beam of radiation that weakens enemies and buffs Zane. For every enemy weakened, Zane's movement speed and fire rate are increased. Weakened enemies have decreased movement speed and attack speed. Yeah? That seems fun. Sentinel adds a rocket pod to its primary weapons, allowing it to shoot rockets as well as machine guns. Yeah, if that levels up, that's going to scale really well. Static field. Sentinel emits a static field that sends a shock beam to nearby enemies, draining their shields and replenishing Zane's. Yes, absolutely. If you want to get increased shield or have it regen and then reduce enemy shields, that's going to be absolutely crucial. And then hold down F or G while Sentinel's deployed to paint the target area. Sentinel fires a small missile barrage in that area, and if the enemy is killed, the duration is reset. It's going to be used once per action skill. That seems pretty good. I like this tree. I like the fact that it's heavy on skills, kill skills. Definitely worth it. It's definitely one of the most interesting ones. And then lastly, we've got Undercover, which gives you the shield, which is the most interesting skill I've seen for him. Personally, I like the fact that you can drop a deployable barrier that blocks incoming projectiles, and Zane and his allies can shoot through the barrier, dealing increased gun damage. Which, what not to like there? That's pretty awesome. Pressing F or G while the barrier is active picks up a shield, and you can put it in front of you but has less size. 25% amp damage, that's awesome. Alright, Zane gains increased action skill cooldown rate. The bonus is based on the amount of shields he has. The more percentage full, the greater the bonus. So you can use your shield a lot more, up to 35% if you've got full on thing. Yep, that's definitely worth it. Having the shield out and about is going to be super useful. It's one of the best skills, I think. Zane gains increased maximum shield capacity, so that means that 30% shields, as it's all about shields then for him. Hence the shield. Zane gains improved shield recharge rate and shield. Yeah, so to me, this is huge. This is one of the big skills. Having, my mouse will stay still. Having that increase by 30% and decrease the amount of time it takes to relay, that's huge. All three of these are good. Whenever Zane scores a critical hit on enemy, there's a chance they will be slowed. This effect stacks until the target is frozen. Slow chance, 20%. Maybe. Not sure about that one. Being slowed is pretty good though, but not sure. Whenever Zane is damaged, he gains damage resistance against the damage type. That seems pretty good. So if someone hits you with like corrosive, you gain 16% against it. I kind of like that. Shame that's not a little bit higher. Be a little bit more interesting then. More worth it. Zane gains health regen. The lower his shield is, the higher the bonus. Okay, so this is like Axton's skill in Borderlands 2. It's good, because it means when your shield runs out, as long as your shield's coming back quick, it's pretty good. So this entire tree so far feels like the tree that I've been using for Axton, actually. So this is very soldier commando based. Pretty much the same. It's kind of very copy and paste, but it's still good. With Zane's shields are active, he gains increased gun damage and accuracy. This bonus is the amount of shields he has. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? That's an instant 33%, instant 20% just for having your shields up. You don't have to do anything. That's pretty good. Elemental status effects applied to Zane of reduced generation. So yeah, this is very much... That's awesome. That's 50%. 50% less time. So rather than taking maybe 10 seconds, that's 5 seconds. That's pretty powerful. This is very much like the commando, actually, this tree. Kill skill. Whenever Zane kills an enemy, they create a cryo-nova, dealing damage to all enemies nearby. Let's have a look. So yeah, that'll level up with you. That's pretty good. Yeah, whenever an enemy kills an enemy, they deal a cryo-nova. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Zane gains resistance to non-elemental damage. After killing an enemy, all elemental damage Zane takes is converted to on. Oh wow, that's powerful. But it's only 15%. So if you get that and some of that one, does now become what, 30% almost? So that's probably quite good. Whenever Zane damages a frozen enemy with his weapon, he gains some of that damage back as health. 24% damage dealt on lifesteal. That seems pretty good. Can't really argue with that. Zane freezes an enemy, his shield instantly begins recharging. If Zane's shields are already full, he regenerates health for a few seconds. If Zane's health is already full, his action skill cooldowns and durations are immediately reset. Wow, yes, that's awesome. So if you do go for ice and you freeze someone, you're going to get health regen, shield regen, and if you've got both of those, then you're going to get cooldowns immediately reset. Zane gains increasing accuracy and handling. The longer his shield is full, the greater the bonus. It's not huge though. Oh, you get stacks, so that could be good. That is one of the ones I'd have to try out. Not sure about that. Zane's barrier gains the effects of his currently equipped shield mod. Ooh, damn. Additionally, shield effects are applied to all allies nearby the barrier. That's really powerful. That's like really powerful. Nice. It's all about slowing and shields in this one. Whenever Zane or an ally touches the barrier, they gain increased movement speed and reload speed for a few seconds. 8 seconds! Wow, that's long. But just for the reload speed, if nothing else, that's really good. Zane and his allies gain health regen, increased reload speed, and greatly improved shield charge while near the barrier. Lower the health, the more health is regened. Shield recharge delays 33% reload speed. Oof. Zane and his allies near the barrier gain increased gun damage, 10%. For a few seconds after the barrier takes damage. Interesting. Zane's barrier becomes a dome, covering all sides. I like that. That's really cool. One person's made 2 to 3 damage. That's nice. Enemies that touch the barrier take shock damage and are staggered. Probably levels up with it, but I like this tree. Honestly, Zane would be the other character I'm most interested in playing. I think they're all pretty good. Again, the same sort of problem. Some of these skills aren't particularly great unless you get the right sort of set with them, and I think that's the difference between this and Borderlands 2. So let's have a look at the last character then. Let's have a look at Amara, who is a siren who, for me, doesn't look amazing, but let's have a look. So she's got this thing here that I'm assuming you can change, which is this chakra thing. But I don't know how to... Virtual action skill shock damage. So I'm guessing you can change this to different types of damage. Anyway, so we've got phase cast. Amara sends forth an astral projection of herself, damaging everything in the path. So it's just like a big area effect move. Alright. Do harm. Killing an enemy grants Amara a stack of rush. Activating her action skill consumes all rush stacks. For every stack of rush consumed, action skill damage is temporarily increased. That seems good. 10 stacks, 4.5% stacks consumed. It seems like you just kill a bunch of enemies and you just launch it out and you just do so much damage. That seems pretty good actually. Reload speed, weapon swap speed, and mode switch speed are improved. So early game, that's a good, cool 36%, 36%, and 19%. Yeah, that's actually really good. That early on, that's really powerful. Applying a status effect grants Amara a stack of rush. Activating her action skill consumes all rush stacks. So every stack of rush consumed, Amara's status effect chance is temporarily increased. So this is all around her action skill. 10% stacks, max rush stacks. So that's... They both give rush? Oh, it does. So they just give rush anyway. Like 3% per stack consumed. These two work really well together. This one is my favourite though, because it gives you a big buff very early on. Amara gains increased reload speed for every stack of rush. So this is all about rush. Then, okay, that's pretty cool. Reload speed for every stack of rush. After consuming rush stacks, the bonus is increased for a few seconds. 2% stack, 2% no after these cases. Yep. In conjunction with this, lots of reload speed. Amara gains increased accuracy and critical hit damage for a few seconds after activating her skill. Action skill. So you gain these for 12 seconds. That's not a few seconds. That's 10 seconds plus 2 more. That's really good. Increased accuracy, increased critical hit damage. That's powerful. Amara gains increased action skill cooldown rate. 25%. Yeah, in conjunction with these, that's the whole thing with stacks and launching that thing out. You want to be firing that thing constantly. You want to build up the stacks and then just launch it out. Action skill augments gain increased effects. So what's this do? So, soul sap. What's this one? Deliverance. That's the wrong flipping. Oh, whoops! There we go. Soul sap. So 30% skilled. I'll get to them in a minute, but it does buff like all of these, which is pretty cool. That must be the other ones on the other tree actually. Amara gains improved fire rate and charge time. Oh, charge must be... Oh, some of the guns you can charge in this, can't you? So there must be that. Enemies take... Alright, I suppose. Enemies take increased damage from all sources for a few seconds after being damaged by the action skill. Yeah, that's like slagging someone. That's going to be good. Amara gains increased gun damage. This effect is increased after she activates her action skill. 8 seconds, you get increased 20%, 20% action. So extra. So that means you get 40% after you use it. That's powerful. Amara kills an enemy with a gun or action skill. She creates a homing projectile that seeks out a new enemy, dealing her action skill elemental damage. Any overkill damage is added to the projectile's damage. Nice. That sounds really useful, being able to like do that and then just attack someone else for a big chunk of damage. Rush stacks gain increased effectiveness. Oh, so you're getting these, and you get this, and that's 30% more. I can see this skill being very powerful because you're going to be getting rush stacks and they're going to be becoming really, really good. Especially this one. Being able to do extra damage to people. That's 30% more damage. And then lastly, action skills can be activated while it's cooling down. The skill may only be used once per completed cooldown. Increases Amara's max rush stacks. Additionally, action skill kills an enemy, it refunds half of the yeah, why wouldn't you get that? It's insane. All in all, actually kind of really cool. I like the idea what they're going for this tree. I wasn't sure about that at first. I was like, eh. But it kind of all works together. Soul Sap. Portion of the damage dealt by Amara's action skills returned her or nearby allies as health. Yeah, why wouldn't you do that? It's health. Enemies damaged by Amara's action skill become phase locked until they are damaged or the duration ends. However, action skill cooldown is increased. If Amara's targets an enemy with phase grasp, sorry, enemies near the grasp target are phase locked. Oh, that's really powerful. Become phase locked. Wow, that seems really good. And then we've got these, which is, I think these change. Let's have a look. Amara sends forward an astral projection of herself. When it hits target, it explodes, damaging the enemy. So yes, different versions of the phase cast one. It's pretty cool, blowing things up. Amara sends forward an astral projection of herself, dealing damage to everything in its path. Whenever Amara's astral projection damages an enemy, or object, it releases homing elemental projectiles that trigger her action skill elemental effect. Yeah, that seems pretty powerful. Though. These seem pretty good. Amara sends forward an astral projection of herself, dealing damage to everything. Astral projection deals increased damage for every enemy hit, so you can line them up and you do some serious damage. I actually really like the idea of this skill more now. Visually it doesn't look that great, but I've got a feeling that was way back when, and now it probably looks better. I think she's a character I need to see in the game, because I've never played the Sirens, they don't really interest me. I did play Maya a bit, but in the second game, but yeah, not sure with this one. Kind of like the tree though, I kind of like the skills you get, but not sure about everything else. Move on to the next one. Fists of the Elements. This is the punching one. Oh no, it's Phase Grasp. Amara summons a giant fist that bursts from the ground and locks the target enemy in a place. Some enemies are immune to being grasped and instantly take damage. So yeah, this is exactly the same as Maya's one, except it comes out of the ground this time and grabs them. So not too great that it's the same, but hey ho. Amara's status effects deal increased damage over time and have increased duration. Her action skills status effects deals further increased damage. So, skill status effect 40%, status effect damage 20, and status effect duration. That's big. That's huge. Actually, that seems like a huge amount of buffing. So, do increased damage over time and have increased duration. Oh, so that's all like corrosives. Yeah, that seems really good. Definitely do that. Amara gains increased weapon handling and accuracy. If I knew what weapon handling was, then I'd be able to have a better idea, but I'm not sure what it is. But seems good. Convert a portion of damage dealt by Amara's weapons into her action skill element. Oh, this thing. So it's shot. Right, I see. So it's doing shot damage. Whoops. Yeah, so whatever you've got there. This seems really good though. Alright, moving on. Amara deals increased elemental damage, shock damage is further increased. So this is all about element, this one. Shock damage 20, elemental damage 30%. Why not? Seems pretty powerful. Amara gains increased melee damage, and her melee damage is converted to an action skill element. Oh wow, so you're basically, the entire time, you're constantly just shocking the crap out of people. That seems fun. Seems like a pretty... Can you change this anywhere? Convert your action skill to shock damage. Huh. Interesting. Alright. Whenever Amara applies a status effect to an enemy, it has a chance to spread it to a nearby enemy. That's 40%, man. That's a big... That seems worth it. Spread to a nearby... Yeah. That's big. 40% is... Like, that's the kind of increase I expect with something like that. Not like 20%. Like 40%. 30, 40, 50%. That's what you want to see with these numbers. Big changes, not just dinky little upgrades. Amara's gun damage is increased for a few seconds after the enemy is grasped. Whenever any player kills a grasped enemy, the current weapon is reloaded. Yep, that sounds fun. Amara's bullets that damage enemies have a chance to ricochet and deal decreased damage to other nearby enemies. Ricochet chance and damage are increased if the target is currently affected by phase grasp or stillness of mind. which that's quite a big. Ricochet chance 30, ricochet damage minus 50, action skill ricochet 60%. That's actually kind of nuts. 60% is huge. Amara gains increased magazine size of elemental weapons. If you're going to be doing this, then plus 20 on everything is going to be bonkers. That's a big increase. Whenever Amara triggers an elemental effect on an enemy, when that enemy dies, that enemy explodes, dealing her attuned element damage along with any other element that is currently inflicted upon the enemy. This skill has a short cooldown. That sounds kind of fun, actually. So that's going to go up as you level up. But yeah, doing exploding and doing shock, corrosive, radiation damage, that's going to be useful. Amara gains lifesteal whenever she deals elemental damage with a weapon. What? Wow. So as long as you're dealing damage, you're going to get 20% damage dealt to health. Bloody hell. That's powerful. Whenever Amara applies a status effect to an enemy, she gains a chance to randomly electrocute, ignite, or melt that enemy. Whenever she applies it, she's got a 35% chance to randomly electrocute, ignite, or melt that enemy. Or instantly just kill them. That seems really good. I mean, they both seem really good. I think actually, if I had to pick one, it would definitely be this. If they instantly die. Bonkers. Amara's guns deal bonus elemental damage based on an action skill element. So 18%. I wonder if you can change that, but that's going to be huge. Based on action skill. So you do way more shock damage and all that. Ooh, that's powerful stuff, man. What have we got here then? We've got Amara summons a giant fist that bursts from the ground, locks the target into place. Whenever the grasped enemy is killed, a new fist seeks out the grasped new target. That's kind of fun. Up to 4 targets. Damn. That seems really good. Amara summons a giant fist that bursts from the locked target. After grasping the enemy, target enemy, large fists appear and constantly smash the area, dealing damage to nearby enemies. So it's an area of effect. That seems pretty good as well. Enemies near the grasped target are linked, and any damage dealt to the target is shared. Ooh, so that's an interesting way of changing it. I like that. That's powerful. Converts Amara's action skill to... Oh, right, there you go. Incendiary damage. And then this one is Amara's action skill creates a singularity that pulls the enemies. So was there one on this that I just missed? No. So that was astral projection on it. So, okay, so you can change this one up to be incendiary instead of shock. That tree, by the way, actually seems kind of fun. With a lot of the elemental stuff that you're doing with the guns. That stuff's always kind of cool. That's a callback to the first game like that, and most of the time the Siren always can do crazy things with the elements, but kind of like it. And that one is corrosive, so corrosive shock or incendiary. Interesting. Alright, this tree, what have we got here? We've got the face slam. So this is one she slams the ground, dealing damage to nearby enemies. This didn't look that impressive when I originally saw it, so I'm kind of hoping that they've made the visuals on this look way better. Anyway, Amara gains increased max health. 40% is pretty good, but pretty boring. What are the other two? Weapon shots deal bonus damage based on the distance of a target. I like that. The closer the target, the greater the bonus. So this is about shotguns, man. 30% up to 30% chance. 36% chance. Yeah, I like that. That's fun. Means you can just kill things real quick. Amara constantly regens health. The lower health, the more powerful the regen. After using an action skill, this bonus is doubled for a short time. So you can have up to plus 5% missing health second duration 5. Double it for... So yeah, don't even bother with this one. It's like 40%, yeah, it's alright early game, but these two, this one especially, personal space, I like that. Get a shotgun, run up to people, you're doing way more damage. Powerful stuff. Alright. Amara deals increased splash damage and takes reduced splash damage. How much are we getting? Ooh, for reduced splash damage by 40%. That seems pretty good. And splash damage 20. Yeah, that's alright. Amara deals damage to an enemy with her action skill. She adds a stack of Samsara. For every stack of Samsara, Amara gains, that rhymes, gains increased gun damage and health regen for a few seconds. Stacked decay after a few seconds. Gun damage 5% per enemy damaged. 5% of max health stacks. 5 stacks. Yeah, that could be pretty good. Health again. Health regen is always good. So in capacity, just be able to like dive out of battle and just get it back quickly. For a few seconds after using her action skill, Amara's arms remain active and grant her damage reduction. 40% less damage for 15 seconds. Well, yeah. In a boss fight, that's going to be so good. How fast can you trigger this? 35 seconds. Not that quick, actually. Surprising what it is. But this is really cool. Helping hand. I like it. Whenever Amara takes damage, she gains a stack of mindfulness. For each stack of mindfulness, Amara gains improved shield, regen delay, and movement speed. They decay after 5 seconds. And you get, ooh, 23%. You can have 25 stacks. Holy crap. And you can move, oh yeah, that's definitely worth it. And that's when she takes damage, she gains a stack of it. That's really cool. Defensively, that's really cool because your shield regen delay is going to go up way quicker, and your movement speed, you're going to be able to get out of harm's way. So that's a big one. Amara gains increased melee damage. Additionally, for a few seconds after using her action skill, Amara gains increased melee range. 100% more damage, always good, and 75% range. If you like twatting things, that's going to be the perfect thing for you. Kill skill. Killing an enemy with Amara's action skill grants all allies increased movement speed for a few seconds. Up to 10%. No. I don't think movement speed, like, when it's like that, you need a lot of things to be increased movement speed, and that's only its own, so 10%, not really worth it. Amara gains increased max health and elemental damage resistance to her action skill element. Gains increased max health, so if you get the first one, that's an extra 25% on top. And then an extra 40% damage reduction. There's the other one. Splashdown. Wow, you can be very tanky in this one. Whenever an enemy, also definitely get this, just for the 40% reduction and elemental stuff. So, well, hang on. Amara gains increased max health and element direction to her action skill element. Why would you get damage reduction to your action skill element? Oh, I see. So you get 40% less shock damage, right? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, well, that's still pretty good. Whenever an enemy damages Amara, she automatically throws an energy orb back at them, dealing action skill elemental damage. That seems pretty cool. Every 8 seconds, you're just dealing shock, burn, or whatever this one was, corrosive to something. Sounds good. Whenever Amara deals melee damage to an enemy, she gains increased action skill damage and increased gun damage for a few seconds. Deals melee damage to an enemy. So, oh, I see. So the whole point of this tree is just powering up your action skill. Gun damage. Seems alright. Amara enters fight for your life. She immediately gains second wind. Wow, that's insane. 120. That's wow. Restores her health and creates an action skill elemental nova that may knock back at nearby enemies. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you get that? That's just perfect. Melee skill override. Press V while aiming at an enemy to make Amara dash a short distance forward and perform a special melee strike, dealing elemental damage. If a blitz melee attack kills an enemy, blitz cooldown immediately resets. So yeah, that seems pretty powerful to me. Let's go up, bam. Especially being able to dash a short distance. Pretty interesting tree, actually. I kind of like the damage reduction in this one. That sounds pretty fun. Be quite tanky. Fracture. So, summons a line of fists that erupt from the ground, dealing damage to enemies in front of Amara. Amara leaps into the air and shoots out elemental beams below her, briefly followed by a slam. That sounds really fucking cool. That changes it to corrosive damage. Action skill now creates a nova when it damages enemies, dealing damage to nearby enemies. Action skill damage, nova damage 18, so that obviously levels up. And then enemies damaged by Amara's action skill become confused and temporarily attack their allies. That sounds fun. However, action skill cooldown is increased. If Amara targets an enemy with phase grasp, enemies near the grasp target are confused as well. Wow, that sounds fun. That's all of them. That's all the trees. Alright, so overall, now reading through a lot of these again, I can see the themes they're going through with each of these trees. But my point stands and how I feel about them, that a lot of the trees are not quite as interesting, but if you pick the right skills, you're going to be very good at certain things, like very much into critical hits, into damage reduction, certain types of elemental damage, never having to reload like Mose does. So I am looking forward to it. I'm not like fully judging this as is, because obviously I said the augments and the different types of action skills and the way that each character has something different. Amara has the elemental thing because it's a siren, it makes sense. So with Mose, you've got the different guns you can put on the Iron Bear. obviously Beastmaster. Flak has the Beast as well as his action skill, and then Zane actually has the ability to have 2 active. So all in all, like, I am looking forward to seeing how they play out, but I do think that some of them aren't quite as interesting, like being able to stick the turret onto a wall, or being able to use like a melee override and chuck kunai at people and stuff like the crazy things. Sexual Tyrannosaurus, I think, is one from Gunzerker, where you can just constantly hold the buttons down or something, you regen. But there are, I think, more interesting things in Borderlands 2, and like probably pre-sequel, but it's been a while since I played that. But all in all, like, it sounds fun, these look fun, and I'm looking forward to playing Flak, to be honest. I'm looking forward to playing all these characters, but Flak is the one I'm going to play the most. It's the first one I'm going to play anyway, so. But thank you very much for watching this very long video and going through this with me. If you like it, hit like. If you want to see more of this content, hit subscribe. And, you know, feel free to comment down below who you want to play, you know, what the things you're most interested in, and your thoughts on the skill trees. Obviously, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. And until next video, I'll see you then.